quite a remarkable change in weather conditions from overnight and today, and we've had windy conditions and a chance of some showers tonight, but it doesn't appear to be happening. Well, joining me now in the studio is my offsider. Good evening.
Good evening, Barry. Good evening, viewers. Hope everyone's had a good day.
And the importance of the all important number you see on the wall there, 000. Now, when should we ring 000? Only in an emergency. And when should we not ring it? If we haven't got an emergency. Here's my offsider for this.
Yeah, it's important for everyone to remember that, Barry. 000 is only an emergency number. It's not a game, or if you need a lift to somewhere.
Because 000 have a tracking device which will track down your number and you will be caught. Here's my offsider.
Yep, they'll find out who rang them from the or a mobile. They'll track you down and you can be fined.
And in trouble too. So, when you ring 000, you ask for any of the three services: police, fire, or an ambulance. If you are calling an ambulance, you must always be prepared to give your name, the injured person's name, the nature of the problem, and the exact address of the emergency, and the nearest cross street, and the phone number that you are calling from. Here's my offsider now.
Yeah, it's all good advice, Barry. I think they'll get someone help when they need it.
And always have a light on if you are calling an ambulance at home at night. That way, the ambulance know that there's someone at home at night. If the ambulance officers cannot locate you or can't find your house, have someone out in the street to direct them to wherever the ambulance is needed. Here's my offsider.
Yeah, all good advice, Barry. And even wait out the front for them if it's night time.
And always be honest with the ambulance when they arrive at your destination. Here's my offsider.
Yeah, try and tell them exactly what the problem is. And if it's getting worse or better, it might not be that serious by the time they get there. Especially if someone's had seizures, the seizures might be stopping. Something like that.
And always tell them exactly what has happened and stick to the story. Here's my offsider.
Yeah, all good advice, Barry. We've all learned that from experience with the ambulance turning up a few times.
Now, when an ambulance is turned up for me, I think my offsider has been here when the ambulance had turned up, and here he is.
They did a few tests, didn't they, Barry?
Yep.
And they worked out it was serious enough to take you to the hospital. So they took you to the hospital. You had to get admitted. And then you recovered in a couple of days. Allowed to come back home again. So that was all good work, wasn't it, Barry?
So, when you ring 000, a voice will say you have dialed emergency 000. What service do you require? Police, fire, or ambulance? If you require police, say police. If you require fire, say fire. If you require an ambulance, say ambulance. What would my operator say if it was a medical condition?
I think they'd say an ambulance.
I think my operator would say ambulance.
What about if it's Westpac rescue helicopter? Like a boat's overturned in the ocean. What do you need then?
The ambulance will then radio for it.
So you ring the ambulance.
Yeah.
Okay.
And the ambulance service will ask which state you are calling from. Here's my operator.
Yeah. State and the city.
And the
location or the beach.
And the suburb. So if we were calling an ambulance here to Oceana, we will give our address, our name, and the house number and the phone number that we're calling back from. Here's my operator.
Yeah, all good advice, Barry. I think the ambulance should get here then. And if when they get here, they'll be able to sort out the emergency. They might save someone's life.
So now I've told you about calling O appropriately. Here's a couple of reasons why you shouldn't ring 000. You shouldn't ring 000 if you've got a broken fingernail, or you need a pizza, or you need a lift home from a pub. Don't treat an ambulance as a taxi. They are not taxis. Paramedics are there to save the lives of my operator and my special guest here, and here he is.
Yeah, exactly right. Ambulance is there to save lives, Barry, in an emergency.
Don't be a fool and call an ambulance just because you've had a day at the races. Triple no. And here's my operator.
Yeah, very well said, Barry. It's either 000 for emergency, or if you just need a lift to hospital for something minor, just get a lift or catch a bus.
Or get a taxi.
Or get a taxi.
But,
Good advice.
but don't use ambulances or any other emergency service for a lift or any minor case. Go to your doctor, take some Panadol, and see if that eases off. Well, that's our report on 000 for tonight. I'm Barry Fair, and here's my operator to say good night now.
Yeah, good night, Barry. Good night, viewers. See you next time.
And remember, only ring 000 in an emergency if I can get my operator just to show you my poster here. And the importance of ringing 000 in an emergency, because the wrong call can cost someone their life. I'm Barry Fair. Thanks for watching this all important video. Take care, and as I've said, the wrong call could cost someone like me their life. Good night.